Welcome to Obstacle Running Adventures,
the podcast that fuels your passion for obstacle course racing, running, and adventure.
Since 2017, we have released weekly episodes for the seasoned pros,
weekend warriors, and everything in between.
We discuss the industry news, travel for live coverage,
and interview athletes and key voices in the athletic community.
We cover it all, from fundraising events, personal trials,
to world records, FKTs, and world championships.
Standing on the corner.
Now let's get started with your hosts.
Lost all my clothes.
Michael Stefano and Caitlin Ritter.
Hey guys, it's Michael Stefano.
And Caitlin Ritter. And Mikey, how was your weekend?
Not too bad. We saw almost all the babies.
Almost all the babies.
Kind of hosted a bunch of our friends coming over, and we just hung out outside until it started raining. Then we hung out inside and just got to see everyone, which was nice.
Yeah, we had Mickey popsicles.
Yes. Yeah, it was a contest of who could be more messy, me or Baby Ben.
Yes.
I think Baby Ben beat me.
Baby Ben is now a toddler, I think.
Yeah, he's not Big Boy Ben yet. He's just Baby Ben.
Oh, he's going to be Big Boy Ben.
Yeah, it took me longer than I'd like to admit to think of that.
I love that.
Let's give a shout out to our sponsors.
Shout out Mudgear, use code ADVENTURE for 15% off, and Caterpie, use code OCRReport20 for 20% off your next Caterpie purchase.
Perfect. We're going to pull up Patreon and thank the people there. But first, Caitlin, tell people about, the 4 Patreon videos that we just put out.
What did we do? We did a game, right? That was the first one?
Yep.
Then we did you signing me up for World's Toughest Mudder, which turned into me going to the doctor and having a concussion.
Mm-hmm.
And then we talked about our trip to Colorado, and then we talked about our trip to the Europe.
To the Europe, that's right.
To the Europe.
And of course, I had Caitlin talk about that, so I had time to pull up the $5 and $10 Patreon supporters. And again, thank you so much for helping ease the cost. It didn't quite cover the trip to the UK and France and back again.
Jason Dupree, Samantha Thompson, Bradley Keel, Charlotte Engelman, Aaron Grindstaff, Laura and Stephen Ritter, Hank and Arlene Stefano, Cheryl Miller, Jessica Johnson, Christopher Hoover, Kevin Gregory Jr., Brent George, Logan Nagel, Seth Rinderknecht, Steve Bacon, Robert Landman, and Jules Estes.
Yes, thank you guys so much. And to the OCR Report for being a great home for us on the internet.
And to Will Hicks,
the Podfather, check it out over at theocrreport.com. And to our sponsored athletes.
Javier Escobar, Kelly Sullivan, Ryan Brizolara, Joshua Reed, and Kevin Gregory.
We're going to skip the poll, meme, and badass because we have a long one today. Again, we're going to go straight to quick news, starting with a badass lady who rode from California to Hawaii. I think you mentioned this.
Oh my gosh,
briefly.
I did. She can be our badass of the week. 43 days alone, 2,400 miles of the Pacific Ocean. Kelsey
Fendler,
a 30-year-old Grand Canyon river rafting guy, just became the fastest person, man or woman, to ever row solo from California to Hawaii.
Yeah, so congratulations to her. That's pretty amazing. Some exciting news from Spartan.
Spartan paid out on site this year for one of their race series.
Yeah, so this was the Northeast race series, of course, because it's
Okay.
Logan Broadbent and Nicole Miracle. So that and hopefully the DECA Fit podiums too. We got one coming up on Saturday. Hopefully they continue to do this and they catch up on all their previous, owed money.
And then Thunder Run, Rhode Island.
Rhode Island.
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire is going to be putting on their event September 12th. I hope this is the year that we maybe get to go and check it out. They released their course map and it looks pretty cool. So link down below to check that out.
It says a unique 5K obstacle race.
Yeah. And a shout out to, this only just got posted, so now we can talk about it, but we were there for it.
Yes, James and Missy got married.
Yeah.
James posted back to the place we met. What better location for us to get married? And that, of course, happened at the Beast at Morazine.
Yeah, very cool. And then another life update. I think I saw this right after we recorded last week, but I thought this was amazing.
Yeah, David Magida posted a super cool video. You'll have to check out the link, but they are having baby girl number 2.
Yeah, congratulations to them. And kudos for the creativity there. I thought that was pretty cool.
Does it just feel like everybody's having a baby girl?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Shout out to Justin Manning, who just had his 5th anniversary with Simone.
5th wedding anniversary, 11 years together.
Yeah.
Oh, they got married a day apart. He said, happy anniversary, 11 years together today, 7/13, and 5 years married tomorrow, 7/14.
I like it.
That is pretty cool. That's like what we did.
Pretty much. A shout out to Nathan, who's helped us out with the New England OCR Expo.
Obstacle Wonderland posted yesterday at Palmerton. We had a scary moment when Nathan experienced a medical episode at the finish line. Thankfully, he was surrounded by people who jumped right in to help. We're all wishing Nathan a full and speedy recovery and hope to see him back doing what he loves.
When the time is right. Yeah. So glad he's doing better and that he was surrounded by people. This is a pretty badass video of Ida Mathilde Steensgaard, who did an obstacle course race on a Ferris wheel, which is pretty amazing. I saw that. Yeah, definitely go link down below to check that out. We have a bunch of podiums, starting with the Morzine Beast. I believe last week we talked about the Ultra.
For the men, in 3rd place, Eduardo Hervey. In 2nd place, Theobald
Tybalt.
Oh no.
Derbyshire.
And in 1st place, Loris Shina.
Perfect. And for the ladies?
In 3rd place, Lena Rains. In 2nd place, Viviana Mari. And in 1st place, Leslie Lejeune.
Perfect. Now we have the Spartan Northeast Series leaderboard. We'll do top 5.
Okay. In 5th place, Tyler Movasian.
Movsession.
In 2nd place, Michael Souza.
Swazo. People we know.
In 3rd place, Brent Trail. In 2nd place, Jordan McDougall. And in 1st place, Logan Broadbent.
Perfect. And for the ladies?
In 5th place, Sam Blocher. In 4th place, Cassandra Gill. In 3rd place, Taylor Wright. In 2nd place, Miranda Kolpinski. And in 1st place, Nicole Miracle.
Perfect. And now we have the series for the West, which not nearly as many athletes, which is unfortunate.
This is after 3 of 3 races. And for the men, in 3rd place, Vadzim Yoshikin. In 2nd place, Jeff Shady. And in 1st place, Giovanni Mendoza. And for the women, in 3rd place, Rachel Munoz. In 2nd place, Rachel Serra. And in 1st place, Casey Calloway.
Perfect. And since we weren't here for it, I believe we have, here it is, the New England Spartan Super and Sprint podiums.
Okay. For the sprint for the men, and
I think that's the super. Super is usually done first. I think. Oh, sorry, anything at the bottom? Sure.
Yeah. In 3rd place, Ivan Bautista. In 2nd place, Owen Sorete. And in 1st place, Brent Trail. For the women, in 3rd place, Alyssa McLeod. In 2nd place, Taylor Ray. And in 1st place, Cassandra Gill. For the super, for the men, in 3rd place, John Bornholm. In 2nd place, Joshua Gonzalez. And in 1st place, Brent Trail. And for the women, in 3rd place, Christina Loge. In 2nd place, Taylor Ray. And in 1st place, Cassandra Gill.
Perfect. I believe that's all the quick news that we have for this week.
That was pretty quick.
Yeah. Check out the secret links down below, and let's get to what this episode is all about. So this is part 4 out of 4 of our World's Toughest Mudder coverage. This one focuses on everything related to the bar crawl. So you'll hear a bunch of interviews. Definitely more in-depth since I had more time to talk to everybody. The people that we talked to were Melissa Linden and James Verde, Miko, Jack O'Reilly, Kris Mendoza, Kai Chapman, Carlo Piscitello, Grant Thompson, Jason Dupree, Gary Judd, Fran Chiorando, and Dave Webster. Also, again, instead of deleting the bad audio, I did my best to fix it again. Not as bad as last episode, I believe. So let's get to all those interviews now. All right, we'll start with your names and where you're from.
Melissa Linden, Old Bridge, New Jersey, United States.
I apologize for not letting you two first.
James Verde, from the same place.
How was World's Toughest Mudder for you this year?
Bad.
Come on, girl.
Terrible.
No.
Super bad. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. No, it wasn't bad. It was only bad for me, and that's on me because I wasn't prepared. It was a high quality event that I happened to not meet my own expectations for.
James, how are you feeling about this year?
I'm feeling good. I definitely wasn't prepared for Worlds like I was last year, but I loved it. Brilliant production, beautiful lands, course setup was fantastic.
Yeah. We talked about preparation last year too. What is it going to take for... Because you're doing a lot of other crazy things too. What is it going to take to prepare for Worlds, if that is your A race?
It is. It is indeed my A race. I haven't been treating it as such because I'm a bum. But,
You're a bum.
Yeah. No, I think what happened last year and this year is, and I've been talking to a few other people about this too, is I think it's just the ultra training burnout. So I'm following these training plans, which are very overwhelming to look at, to plan, to program. And the training plan that I was trying to follow for this year's Worlds, first of all, it was a 48-week training plan. So basically, I got out of last year's Worlds, recovered, healed, and then immediately jumped into training for this year's Worlds. And that training plan was like 6 days a week, and the long runs were 20, 30, 40 miles. And I got very overwhelmed by that. And I just started skipping training runs, and I fell behind on my training so early. And then once you fall behind on something like that, where there aren't a lot of rest days as it is, you really can't make up all of that lost mileage. So I was still getting mileage. I was still training. I was still racing, so I was getting mileage from that. But I wasn't getting as much training mileage as I should have for the goals that I had set out to do. So it's not like I wanted 85 miles, but I didn't earn 85 miles, and therefore I didn't end up with 85 miles, and I can't beat myself up too much because I didn't earn it, and that's okay. So moving into next year, I have a different training mentality, and I'm really starting from scratch and starting with lower mileage training plans so that I don't get burnt out right off the bat.
The best plan is the plan that works, right?
Yeah, and I try something different every time, and eventually something will stick.
And then, James, we talked about, like, out of everything, like, the foot pain. And I felt it, too, and I did nearly as many miles as you did, too. But, like, something about this course in particular, also, if you're not...
It's just really hard out here, and it felt like it hadn't rained in this area in weeks. Everything was dusty and dry, but, again, last year, we were heavily focused on Spartan Ultras. So even if we got behind on training... every month or every 3 weeks, we were doing an ultra. So it kind of, our base was up. And then after Morzine last year, I just kind of went into recovery mode, wanted my knees and hips to heal up, and then didn't start running until like March of this year. And oops, that wasn't enough for Worlds.
Both look like you lift occasionally. Looks like you picked up a few heavy things in the past.
Occasionally.
Express the importance of lifting and being good at obstacle proficiency and everything.
I truly believe that everyone should have, even if running is your primary focus, even if all of your goal events are running focused, every runner should be lifting. And that's just for health. That's just for stronger bones, stronger tendons, and longevity in your life. Obviously, you don't have to lift to the extent that we lift because we're both competitive lifters, and that's not really aligning with the goals of your average ultra runner. But everyone should be lifting, and I think that's why I came into this year, even knowing that I hadn't put in the mileage that I needed to, I kind of felt like I could fake it till I make it because I put in so much strength training that it made my knees bulletproof for downhills. And I feel like a lot of runners, like, that's what will go first, is they're fine on the uphills, and then the downhills come along, and they're like, oh no, I'm in pain, I can't keep on doing this. But through my strength training, I felt like I was much better at hills than maybe in previous years. And the obstacle proficiency for me has grown over the years. It felt good to feel capable on the obstacles this year. First of all, that's a programming thing, because there have been years where they made the obstacles to the point where no matter how strong I was, I just wasn't completing it. And I felt like the obstacles this year were fair in that they rewarded people who had some kind of obstacle proficiency and could perform under fatigue, because I wasn't failing obstacles. Like, if I took a penalty, it was by choice, and that felt like a really cool luxury to have because of the strength that I've developed.
Same question about importance of strength.
Strength is what gets you over those walls for 24 hours, gets you up Mudderhorn for 24 hours, gets you up and down the hills. Like, you need the tendons and the joints in your bones ready for the beating that it takes.
Especially over the course of 25 and a half hours, right? Like, you're going to take a beating, and I completely agree. Like, it's all my knees. But when you're so strong that it's not on your joints and stuff, like, the muscles are supposed to make up for that. And yeah. What did you think about the course itself? What were your favorite obstacles, least favorite obstacles?
took us through a few other sections, but take this with a grain of salt because I've been running my mouth and who knows how reliable my Garmin is, but I tracked the hot lap last year and I tracked the hot lap this year, so that's no obstacles, none of the carries, and I got almost double the elevation this year.
Wow, okay.
So, and when I did the hot lap, and I hadn't looked at my data yet, but I was like, wow, this course feels a lot more up than last year, and then looking at my data, I was like, okay, that makes sense. That it seems hillier, and it can kind of go under the radar because there weren't any very steep ascents. There were just like a couple, and there were obstacles placed on them. So it was like Devil's Beard, that was a pretty steep hill, and then the Sandbag Carry was a pretty steep hill. Kill Gorilla was pretty steep, but like as far as the course itself, there wasn't a lot of steep inclines, so it can feel like it goes under the radar, but it was a very steady climb for a lot of the course. And I felt like the terrain was also like there were some parts of the course that were really holy and uneven. So I felt course itself was more challenging than last year's for sure. But I did like it. I liked the spacing of the obstacles, the layout. I wish there were water obstacles earlier. But other than that, I liked the course a lot, and I liked the twists on and the obstacle innovation. I loved this funky monkey, was so much fun. Yeah, and I like the other. I don't know the actual names of anything, but there was like the hanging, like the
Hangover.
Was that what it was called? And and then it led up to kind of like a pyramid scheme.
Yes.
I liked that one. And then the rope swing obstacle that was onto the net.
Yep.
I thought I was going to hate it, but it was actually a lot more achievable than it looked at first glance.
So much fun.
Yeah, I had fun on the obstacles this year.
Which ones stick out to you, James?
Oh, that swing. I was looking forward to that all day.
Yeah.
And then got to do it so many times. I loved it. Gloop. Gloop was a lifesaver.
Yeah.
Just getting showered every lap.
It opened early, too, when it was hot.
Yeah, I'm glad they decided to open it early because fresh water rinsing your body, I didn't chafe at all. Fresh.
It was a golden shower.
Recirculated golden shower, you know. But the course design was brilliant. I do wish that Block Ness and Kiss of Mud were swapped so that our pit crews and our eating didn't have mud everywhere.
Those poor guys.
Yeah, Mudderhorn was just covered in dirt and grime. But it was beautiful. I mean, this is the only course you get to run 2 feet away from baby sheep.
So they broke onto the course a few times too. That was fun.
They were there on the sprint lap.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, like so close to us. You look to the left and like leading up so there was a little hill before Gloop. You ran up and then you went down and Gloop was at the bottom. Yep. So on that little hill there were sheep to the left. They were so cute.
What are your thoughts on, and I'll do this in opposite order, thoughts on returning next year and just goals for the rest of the year now?
My goal is to stay healthy and just build up my volume again, start running more consistently. Definitely plan on coming back next year. Got to get minimum 65 miles because that's like my new baseline. I managed to hit that last year and I walked in most of those miles. So I got to hit at least 65 and just be healthier and more consistent.
The intention is to return for next year. I always come in with really, really big goals, and I've missed my goal for World's Toughest Mudder all 6 times that I've done this race. And it's time. I think it's time for me to actually, meet my goal one of these days. And I'm always so encouraged by the community because I don't really think all that much of myself. And everyone has such kind things to say to me. And I'm like, well, I can't prove them wrong. I have to be the athlete that they think I am. So I feel like I haven't gotten to experience my full potential of what I can do at Worlds. And that's exciting that I haven't seen the best yet, but it makes me want to make my best next year.
That could be good fuel, but to be fair, we love you guys for who you are, and not you. Just put that out there too. But yeah, well, I'll let you go back to your what was that called again?
Pornstein.
I'll let you get back to your Pornstein. And thanks for taking the time to talk to me, and love seeing you guys out here again.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
All right, bud. Name and where you're from.
It's going to start that well. Miko, Detroit, Michigan.
All right. And correct me if I'm wrong, your first name isn't exactly Miko.
No, Kris Mikoyevsky.
Mikoyevsky. Yeah, I definitely butcher it. Miko works.
Yes.
How was World's Toughest Mudder for you this year?
It was my first time full-time pit crew, and I had a blast. I have no idea how many miles I did and how many runners I helped.
What'd you think of the venue here at Beaver Castle?
It was a great venue. I didn't get a chance to see much of the course, but I think just overall, everybody said it was fun. They had a great time. It was faster than last year, a little bit less hills, and some serious mileage for sure. When 100 doesn't get you on the podium, it was a good year.
Same thing last year too, which is wild. How did you do dealing with the heat?
I was fine. I wasn't running, so that was, as it gets hotter, more clothes come off normally, and that was easier as a pit crew.
Who were your athletes that you were pitting for?
Mostly I was pitting for Mike the Machine Walker and Jack Poseidon O'Reilly.
Okay, I saw both of them on the course. How were they doing? What kind of nutrition were they going for?
Mostly Mike. I mean, he was easy. He was drinking electrolytes, just very fluid heavy, gels, some fruit and everything. Most of the time, some Red Bulls through the night to keep him going. And then candy, Skittles. I brought Skittles out for him at one point. I like a kid on Christmas morning. It was pretty good.
What did you eat for yourself? Because pit crew obviously have to take care of themselves. What did you pack for yourself for goodies?
For me, pit crew, that was the one thing I was worried about. I brought some snacks and stuff, some sandwiches, but that whatever the food trucks were there. I never had the ice cream. Jolly Hog.
Ice cream wasn't great.
Okay, thank you.
No.
I never made it there, but they had their pulled pork sandwiches. At one point, I walked up, I'm like, I want a pulled pork sandwich and a loaded French fry. And I took them to go, and I sat in my pit for a few hours. I ate them through the night.
Yeah, the ice cream was like Mr. Whippy or Mr. Whipley. It tasted like whipped cream, not ice cream. So they looked pretty, but they did not taste good now. So thoughts on World Toughest Mudder being here again next year and a big question mark for 2028. What are your thoughts?
I'm kind of curious, next year, now that a lot of people have seen the course, we tied, 115 for the second time.
Yeah.
I can't think of who has the record right now along with that. Yeah, Batris has it. I'm kind of wondering if somebody's going to try for that 120. I haven't looked at all the stats yet. I started doing it a little bit this morning while I was half out of it, laying on a couch and going through Dazos's data and everything. I mean, he threw down a hell of a run. It was consistent as hell.
His pits were super short, too, because both of his pit crew were, insanely...
Do you want the numbers? Because
Sure.
I did do it. I was just looking to see, compared to my runner, where we were at. Hang on, let me get to ChatGPT here.
Yeah, no rush. In the meantime, while you're Googling, you want to talk a little bit about Ochalaz?
I just found it, so yes, I will in a minute, but yeah. So Dazos, his minimum was 53 seconds, max was 6:44 with an average pit time of 2 minutes 39 seconds for 22 pits.
That's insane. Yeah. Who's quick? Who's quick and ready to go?
58 minutes total pit time across the whole 25 and a half hours, so I don't know if I have it all as data. No, I don't have it all, but just what I fed into ChatGPT. So that was kind of the pinnacle as pit crew I was trying to compare to.
Yeah, no, that's the apex there. I don't know if anyone has had quite... I wonder who... That's probably the shortest pit of all time, right? Who would compare with that? I wonder.
I mean, maybe some of the other guys, but their paces were slower, so I just did his and Mike's. I was trying to compare to see where we could have picked up time to get him up to 100, and we were only about 2 minutes average off, which was crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, his were about 4:30 compared to Dazos's 2:30s.
How did both of your athletes do, in terms of mileage?
Mike, a little bit short of his goal, but he was happy. For a hard day in the heat and everything, it was a rough day to start. I was actually out about 200 meters from the start to watch him. And I think we talked earlier, right? I was shocked how the runners went out off the start.
Usually just out of the gun, super, super hot, and it's people take it way too hard.
Yeah, and everybody was like, wow, you guys are going slow this year? You learned? Or is it just everybody has experience now and knows not to go kill themselves and it's going to be a long day? It was kind of nice to see, actually, because it led to that mileage.
So being in the pit crew, how do you think that this year compared to previous years in the pit in terms of activity and everything throughout the night?
You're asking the wrong guy. This is, I've ran 6 times. This is my first time actually in the pit for World's Toughest. So, I mean, my strategy was like every time Mike came in, I'd set an alarm, like 15 minutes shorter than his lap time, tuck it in my vest, and then I'd be like working on my other runners. Anybody who would need help, I'd just be running around. And it's like, and then my mic alarm would go off. I figured out where he was at, and then figure out where I had to go be. Like, right, like, what did he want? Well, what did I have to prep and go? So,
just because I noticed, like, the pit didn't seem as active, like, especially throughout the night. Like, they turned down the lights, they turned down the volume, and I was like, okay, we're gonna be quiet. This is quiet hours. I'm like, this is still World's Toughest Mudder, right? I don't know. I found that jarring, but you have nothing to compare it to, so.
Yeah, I mean, normally, like, coming into the pit, like, as a runner, yeah, it's a party and everything, and it's just complete chaos normally. This was very calm, I felt, like, just where everybody is and coming in, and it was a little bit, like, spread out. I think the attendance was down compared to the years I've done it. So, like, just normally you have that constant stream where it's like you'd have maybe a minute or two sometimes between runners as they were coming in through the night. So you did have a lot of dead time and just not a lot of activity overall.
So what's your plans for races you're taking on later on this year?
Oh man, it's not a big year for me. I'm running, you mentioned Eau de Laz in 3 weeks, right? The Michigan Backyard Ultra, or silver ticket race. I'm very familiar with it right now, like trying to get him back out to come have some fun with us maybe next year. Next year, are we going to see you?
Maybe. I'll leave that up to a big maybe. There's a lot of big question marks for my future in terms of everything, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, so that's in about 3 weeks, and then just pitting and pacing pretty much for some people. Like, no real big races on my category, on my list until next year to find some good journey runs to go do.
Yeah, no, totally fair. And then just final thoughts as like we're at the bar crawl, like your overall World Toughest experience this year.
I definitely, like, I've always respected my pit crews, right? Like, everybody's taking care of me. Like, I understand what you guys go through. Like, I feel like I'm pretty easy of a runner. Like, just send Run Monkey out to go run, just throw some food at him and shove him out the gate, like, kind of thing. But, like, doing this, having 2 runners, and then I was kind of supporting others. Like, I'm exhausted. My brain was fried. Just, holy shit, do you guys do a good job. And much appreciation for every pit crew out there. Like, you hear your runners say it, but until they actually do it, I don't think they can truly appreciate what you guys do for them.
Thanks for taking time to talk to me.
Yeah, anytime, Mike. Have a good day.
Jack O'Reilly from the UK, but now living in Germany.
And what's your history with World's Toughest Mudder?
So it's my 7th Tough Mudders this year. Did my first one in Atlanta 2018 when hell froze over.
Yep, I was there for that one.
Yep, and since then we've had fire, ice, snowstorms, hurricanes coming in, and now heat waves in the UK. So, it's different every race.
So this is now like the 2nd year that's been in the UK, but what are your thoughts when it like initially came over and World's Toughest Mudder was finally coming to you guys?
And personally, I was so excited because I know the course semi-well. It's been one of my favourite courses. And yeah, it was just nice not having to worry about time zone changes and long-haul flights and is my bag going to arrive on time, which has happened before. My bag arrived the morning of Tough Mudder, or World's Toughest Mudder in 1 year or another. So... yes, it's more relaxed. It feels less of a pre-race nerves that aren't as high as they were when I happened to fly to the US at the time.
Everything down to, and something that I realized last year too, is like in terms of nutrition and stuff, like we brought stuff because when we bought soup from here, like your chicken noodle soup is very different in that like didn't have a lot of salt in it. We needed salt for the runners, so like we had to bring soup. So even traveling, nutrition's completely different in other places.
Yeah.
What did you think about the course for this year?
So I thought it was a quicker course in a way. It wasn't as like there were less like steep incline climbs, but more of like an undulating, like kind of incline decline kind of thing. So yeah, it was quicker in a way, but the obstacles were harder, but the obstacle layout was better.
Yeah.
Like we had a break between because like previously there's been like a water obstacle before Funky Monkey, whereas this time we had at least a good 20, like at least a good half mile between the two.
Yeah.
So we had time for our hands to do off, for our grip to come back. Trying to do like Funky Monkey after Arctic Enema straight away, impossible. Yeah.
That being said, I think Kiss of Mud right before Mudderhorn, also kind of tricky too.
But there was a good I can't do miles. There was a good 500 meters between the two.
Fair.
you had time to go off. And also, it was quite warm, so everything was drying quickly.
Yeah, that's a good point. How would you compare this year to previous World's Toughest Mudders in terms of like difficulty? I guess I know it's basically an impossible question, but
yeah, it's hard because every course is unique. The temperatures are unique. The location's different every time. I always go like every year it's getting better and better with Tough Mudder HQ organising things, with them supporting people on course, with them keeping the vibes up and stuff. It's really hard to do to have someone with that level of energy for like 24 hours.
Yeah.
Having Tough Mudder, not officially, but just backing you in a way like they want you to do your best, they want you to hit your goals, they want you to things. That's what improves every year.
Absolutely.
That's it.
That's a good point. Plans to return for next year since it's here at Beaver Castle again?
Yeah, I'll be back next year. Again, so this year we started the Tough Mudder Nights, which are it's a kind of support program to the amazing people that go on course, just to sit on obstacles and help each other out. At like Hero Balls, at Everest, at Mudderhorn. The obstacles you can do by yourself, but those people there all night. Yeah. So this year I started organising it to get people on course at obstacles, but also having supplies taken out to them. So. I think I did like 4 or 5 supply runs to those guys with like hot water, with pot noodles, with breakfast cereal in the morning, just to say thanks and keep them motivated. So next year it's going to be a lot more of that. There also might be a midway surprise for the runners to keep them going, keep them motivated and fueled up. And yeah, that's going to be a lot of like my focus for next year, because I've done my mileage, I've hit my goals. I now want to give back to the community that's helped me get those goals in the past. So yeah, really going for that next year.
And then any other races planned for like the rest of the year or anything?
So I've got 5 ultras for the rest of the year. So normally I do about once a month. I've got 400 milers, a couple of other fun ones around where I live. Yeah, you know. It's Worlds is falls in the middle of my race season one at the end, which is quite nice.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to me, and great meeting you.
You too. Thank you.
I don't know if you talked about it too, but like Caitlin ended up not racing, which was probably a good call.
Yeah.
So
I'll yell at him for this one. This is a good.
As I was running through the course on Saturday, I noticed a woman on the back of her bib. She said, "I love hugs." So as I ran past her, I tapped her on the shoulder, said, "Oh, big hug to you," and kept running. And she stopped me. And she said that last year, she was in Mud Mile, breaking down. She was in tears. She couldn't go on. Her people she came with had gone to other obstacles or they'd pulled out, whatever. And she was by herself. So me and my friend, we ran up to her, gave her a massive hug, and literally just threw her over every block in Mud Mile. And then because of that, she came back in this year and did it again.
Oh, wow.
And it's that, well, one, I started crying, of course.
Yes.
And secondly, it was...
but...
Yeah, I know. But secondly, it's also like, the minor thing of me giving someone a hug and getting them, of course, made them come back this year. Yeah. And I'm sure they've, and literally she just told the same stories to the person she was running with. And it's that ripple effect. Like, they will say to each other that there are random people that show up on course, like fucking Muddy Mary Poppins, turn up, give you a hug, help you when you need to, and then disappear into the ether. And that's what makes us back every year.
Yeah.
Life is way.
It's fantastic.
Kris, Mendoza, and Golden, Colorado.
And how was World's Toughest Mudder for you this year?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was actually really challenging. First, full World's Toughest I've done since 2019. So it's been quite a bit since I've done, I've been out here a couple times just supporting or maybe running 5 laps or so. But for this year, just wanted to go the whole 24, get 100 miles again, and I succeeded in that. So for me, it was more about just kind of doing what I can control, and had a lot of fun out there.
So you said it's been a while since you've done a World's Toughest Mudder. It's a lot of new people that have joined since then. I think you said that it felt good to not run with a reputation. You kind of run more as an unknown. How did that feel?
Oh yeah, actually it's really funny. I think the last year that I've started racing obstacle course racing again, it's funny. I think we talked in November, and at that time the Spartan race I had just done, the two guys had no clue that I was running with, had no clue who I was, and I was like, oh, this is great. I still feel like there was a lot of people out here in the Tough Mudder community that still knew who I was, but I just felt like there was not a lot of expectation there. Whether it was on myself, most of the time it's usually on ourselves, but it's kind of that perception. So this time I was just kind of coming out, wanting to see what I can do. And really, which I think I've enjoyed the community in the past, but just kind of appreciate that a little more. And so I think during the whole race, I definitely appreciated that more, especially with the people that I knew who were out here.
Yeah, just don't take it for granted. It's been a long time. It's been a while since you've been here.
Yeah, exactly. Don't take it for granted and realize that, like, no matter what happens, control what you can control, have a good time, push yourself hard, but like, however it ends, it ends. And I think mentally, like, that really showed itself, because like Austin passed me on my 95 to 100 lap. And instead of me being like this sucks, I was like, dude, go get it, man. Like it didn't bother me at all. But for me, I hit the goal that I wanted to get 100 miles. And the whole race, Austin's aunt and uncle were crewing him. I was like, tell him to get up here. I know he's like in better shape than me. Like, why isn't he up here? And then eventually he caught me. So I wish I could have run with him for a little longer. Because I felt like the whole race we were like within 30 minutes of each other, but we probably only ran together for like 15, the first lap, and then like 15 minutes later in the race.
I think the race was starting to hit you guys like similarly around like the same time. Like you both started to get like the negative impact was kind of adding up. I see with a second. Like around the same time, so I think that might have affected you. But like, how did you deal with nutrition and everything?
So nutrition-wise, things were going pretty well until I want to say miles 60 to 78. I don't really remember exactly. But there was a point where I started coughing a bunch. Like I couldn't keep solid food. I tried to eat something solid. And then I just couldn't keep it down. I started to cough and then like vomit a bunch.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Oh yeah, I was throwing up a bunch. So that was fun. I tried to eat something solid a few hours after that. But at that point, it's like, okay, I can't eat for a while. You kind of get behind on fueling. Then I was just eating gels. I tried to eat something solid 2 or 3 hours, probably 3 hours later. Still wasn't sitting. So then I was just kind of eating gels, and not as much as I needed to, but it's all I could keep down. So, and at that point, I mean, the good thing, fitness-wise at least, I'd gotten to mile 50 and 60 way faster than I had before. So I know you could always say, like, you're on pace for something. But for me, like the other times I'd hit 100, I think I was an hour behind my timing for 50 miles this year. I was like ahead, I guess. So I knew I had time that if I needed to walk or needed to slow down, that it wasn't going to be an issue. And then I hit my 100 with enough time to go out to do 105, but I just decided not to. It wasn't really worth going out. But yeah.
No regrets, right?
No regrets at all. My stomach was, my legs were dying. My stomach felt terrible. And it wasn't really going to change anything.
And something that not enough people talk about for like those last minute laps is there's less people on the course to, not that you need as much help, but like less people to talk to, less people to help out. So that's an impact too for the end of Worlds.
Oh, totally. Yeah. And I was already so done. Like my last lap, even the small walls were getting really difficult to do. And so I'm like, oh, this is not a good sign. Yeah. Cause it's something that at the beginning of the race is like, you don't even think about.
What did you think about the obstacles that they had for this year?
So the course and the obstacles this year I loved. I think there was some vert, didn't think it was too much. I think it was pretty, like the whole race was runnable, which I use that in air quotes because you're obviously not going to be running the whole time. But if it was like a 5 mile or 10 mile, of course you'd be running the whole thing. The obstacles were fun. There was a few that were challenging, but like for me, at least at the very beginning, the first 5-6 times, pretty easy. And then as the race goes on, obviously, when you're doing an obstacle 10, 15 times, it starts to get challenging towards the end. So some of this... Yeah, exactly. So they definitely became challenging, but there was a good mix of things that were fun and challenging. So I really appreciated that.
What was your strategy in using your bands on the obstacles?
Yeah, so for the bands, I kind of tried to save as many as I could early on. So I only used one at mile 50 when I had the widget, just because I had extra weight on me, even though it wasn't a lot. I skipped the sandbag carry, the triple carry. And then after about mile 60 to 65, I think I had enough to use about 2 a lap because I knew I was going to keep getting more. So then I was just trying to figure out, okay, what obstacles are taking the longest and use it on those. It wasn't necessarily the ones that were the hardest. But for instance, that carry took 3 minutes, 5 minutes, I don't know. It took a while. So, like, if you're looking at it from a timing perspective, I was like, okay, I don't really care what's hard. I just want to know what's taking the most time. So I was just going off of that, towards the end of the race.
And also speak to, like, the community, too, because, like, there's a lot of fun stuff that goes on behind the scenes. Like, I know that we brought Nick over to Underdog to try to get you some goos to see if that would help, but, like, the overall community, like, everyone's supporting each other.
Yeah, totally. It's interesting because I feel like the group of people that I might have, there's still those stable people who have been here since 2016, 2014. And so it's always cool to see those people. But then there's newer people that I might have known peripherally, but now I'm better friends with or kind of asking help from. So, like, Joe Rucco, I knew that he had pulled out of the race, but I knew he had some gels. And because I couldn't keep any solid food down, I was like, well, I want to make sure I'm not running out of nutrition. Joe's like, oh, take whatever you need, like, totally fine. Because he was graciously helping us on Everest. So he was out on course still.
Because there's no one else doing it.
No one else. He did have someone come out for a couple hours to help him, but, like, he was a stud. Just like his mentality of he was injured, didn't, run very far. And then just, like, have that mindset to come out and know that it's not going to be his day, but still give back is, like, huge. So, like, seeing that was awesome. It was cool. So.
And then what else do you have planned? Like, maybe coming back here? What else do you have planned for the rest of the year?
Well, I don't have any plans for this race. I'm not sure.
Fair.
I haven't really looked that far ahead. The only couple things I have planned, I'm running the Kodiak 100K, which is 100K race out in California in October, and then I'm going to do High Rocks or 2 in the fall after that. Probably definitely Denver, and then hopefully Anaheim. And then me and my fiance also signed up for the Tarawera 100K in New Zealand in February. So we're planning a trip out to New Zealand, and I've always wanted to at least do the race, so we're just going to hop in and
Tell
do
me more
it.
about that one. I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, it's I believe it's a UTMB race, so it's in, like, their system. So if you want to run, like, CCC, UTMB, like all those races, you kind of have to run one of these or a couple of them to kind of get points to be eligible to run those. So one day I do want to run CCC or UTMB, so the Alps are beautiful. I was lucky enough to go to that area last year, and so I definitely want to race there. I mean, I'm not a super fast runner when it comes to, like, fast elite runners, but just to experience that course and the atmosphere of that race is insane. So I would love to experience that. And I've always heard a lot of good things about the Tarawera 100K in New Zealand. So I figure we're going to do a trip, and I'm probably not going to run very fast because it's like a runcation. We're just going to be running all trips, take like 1 or 2 days off running, and then run 100K and just experience kind of down there. Yeah, exactly. So I'll have some friends down there that hopefully be able to see also. So it should be good. We're calling it our pre-honeymoon. Yeah.
Love that. Well, Kris, it was great to see you. You got to stay at our Airbnb, which was fantastic, and super proud you were able to get fourth. That's amazing. Yeah. And glad that you were able to return to World's Toughest Mudder, and the community missed you.
Oh, dude, it was so much fun. It was a blast. Thanks for everything. It was so great to see you guys on course. So yeah.
Kai, Middlesbrough, England.
And how was World's Toughest Mudder for you this year?
It's absolutely fantastic. Absolutely loved it. I was so glad to be back. I am planning to run next year.
Better. We don't know if it's coming back to Beaver Castle in 2028. So
that's the argument people keep giving me. Yeah.
So what are the things that you've learned going to the past 2 World's Toughest Mudders that you think will help you next year?
I don't really think there's a lot to learn until you get out on course. I think it's like driving. I've recently passed for driving, and I think you can be given as many instructions and as many helpful hints as you want, but you'll never learn anything until you get out there and you do it yourself. It's not necessarily a normal mudder, but it's to say, like a normal tough mudder, you can be given as much advice as you want, but until you're there doing it yourself, you will not learn anything. You'll learn the first 5% through tips, and after that, the next 95% is purely practical. It is down to you and your effort.
That being said, you did help pit for your cousin, right?
My uncle.
Your uncle, yeah. What was it like like with nutrition and stuff like that? Any pointers you could take from that?
So I've seen quite a lot of people, they'll plan lap 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to the end. I think you plan lap 1, maybe 2. After that is purely down to what the runner needs. You cannot plan past that because your body's going to change, your nutrition's going to change. Until you experience the course, you can't truly know what your body is going to need at that point.
Yeah, that's fair. And then in terms of the weather too, like both times I've come over here, it's been pretty hot. Not as hot as it was last year. Do you think it's going to be another warm day next year, or like I hear your weather changes quite a bit?
I am hoping it catches the back of a UK heat wave.
Okay.
This one did catch the back of a UK heat wave. Luckily, like as you said, Friday was very, very warm, and that was sort of the middle of it. But UK weather does tend to jump up and down. We get about a week of heat above 20 degrees, and apart from that, we're probably about less than the 20 degrees. Yeah.
And then it's interesting, it rained for like a little bit too, but I was just imagining like if it rained for an entire World Toughest Mudder, which has never happened before, how crazy that would be.
I'd say that's pretty standard for a UK Tough Mudder. It does tend to... I ran 12 Tough Mudders. I ran 11 of them in 1 year, and I experienced Tough Mudder in every single weather condition, whether it be blazing heat or the back end of a blizzard. I experienced every sort of weather condition.
What are your thoughts on, because were you able to see all the obstacles this year? Like, what were the obstacles that you noticed that you thought were pretty cool?
I quite liked the idea of Shafted. I'd never seen that one before. That really, really sparked my interest. The Hangover was very, very interesting. I was a bit upset that I didn't get to actually witness any runners on it. But I would have liked to, simply due to the technical side and the complexity of it. That really, really fascinated me. I thought it was great. I would have loved to have seen some runners on it. I was a bit gutted I didn't.
Yeah. And then the penalties, I don't know if you're aware of like any of the penalties that they had, but they had some fun penalties that I thought fit pretty well.
Yeah, I didn't really get to see many of the penalties so I pit crewed from 10 in the morning until 8.
Right.
So I was more focused on being pit crew, sorting the nutrition out. Then I was volunteering from 8 till 8, so I was just stuck on blocking this monster. But it was interesting to see some of the solo techniques I saw on that obstacle were so fascinating to me. It was absolutely incredible. I saw some of the elite runners, they would do what looked like a stand and jump. They would stand still, jump over, and they wouldn't even touch the first side facing them. They'd throw their entire body over, and it was absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Being at Block Nest too, did you get to see any of the adaptive people had something different that they had to do? Was it just the 2 dips? What did adaptive athletes have to do there?
So the adaptive athletes would have to walk around the entire pit of the obstacle, go in, get out, walk around again, go in and get out, and then they can move on.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a nice compromise because they had to walk the extra distance, but they still had to get in and out of the water twice. I thought it was a nice compromise. It made up for it, but it wasn't overly difficult. I understand the people that had lesser limbs, so to speak, one leg, it probably did put a lot of strain on their knee that extra way. I did see some of the adaptive athletes actually do the obstacle, and I was like, that is absolutely fantastic.
Okay. Well, Guy, I would recommend you, if you're thinking about signing up for World's Toughest Mudder, do it. So then you have to do it. And if Caitlin has to run it next year, then we'll be there. But yeah, other than that, any final thoughts on Worlds?
Hopefully see the rest of them out on course, and this time they get a chance to shout at me instead of me shouting at them.
Well said. Well, hope to see you there, Kai.
Hopefully I'll be there.
My name is Carlo Piscitello, and I am from Windsor, California.
Perfect. And how many drinks have you had today, Carlo?
I do not know how many drinks I've had today, Caitlin. That's a great question. The good news is I'm drinking the same thing. I'm not mixing, so we're fair. And you, by the way, for the record, you hold the microphone incredibly close to my mouth, which is cool, but it's unnecessary. Yeah, thank you. Like it is. I'm like, if my tongue comes out too far, I'm absolutely gonna lick the pop shield, and I don't want to do that.
That's hilarious.
Thank you.
Carlo, what number World's Toughest Mudder is this for you?
Oh my gosh, I was just talking with Will Hicks about this the other day. So I have been in or a part of every World's Toughest Mudder since 2015.
Wow.
So what is that, 11 in a row?
Yeah.
Something like that, right? If that's how the years work?
Yeah, 11.
Yeah, I competed in 2015, 16, 17. I did media 18, 19. Even the COVID year, I was part of
you were like the live stream, right?
Yeah, with who was it? Cal McLaughlin and Sean Corvell.
Okay.
And then I competed in Laughlin, Nevada in 2021.
Okay.
And then I've done OCR report stuff in 22, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
That is wild. Which do you like better, being competitor, media, pit crew? What?
Oh my gosh. So nothing beats competing. That's what I miss the most, honestly, every year, especially this time of year. Like, I always leave the event thinking like, okay, next year I gotta get back to it. But I'm also not the most disciplined with my training, so it's like by like February, March, I'm kind of like, well, I don't know, like I've kind of taken a few months off or whatever. So yeah, but again, even now, knowing where it's going to be next year and kind of having an idea of like how the course might look based on the terrain and stuff, I'm like, do I do it?
Do it.
I know. So
we could go for 50 together. 65?
I better get 50. Yeah, I'd have much higher goals than
75?
I've always been like my big, like, I would love to do 75. Now, of course, if you think about it, about 11 years ago when I started. So the idea that I'm now 11 years old was still the same. I'm like, I know. Then I think of my age group. Not that I've ever been an age group person, but I think of my age group. And like all those guys who are like 75, 80 miles. And Joe Perry's in my age group. I'm like, sure. He's so I don't know.
To be determined.
To be determined, for sure.
I might have a race code for sale.
Why is that?
They let me defer it.
They let you defer it?
Yes.
Because you went and
bonked my
bonked
head.
your head.
I'm an idiot. That's what
by the way,
happened.
I don't know if I told you this, and if I did, forgive me, but a couple days after you told me that story about your head, and I was just like, Caitlin, how could you do such a thing? I had just finished giving my dog a bath in the shower, and I stepped out with one foot. And as I was stepping out, I didn't realize the shower door had slid a little bit.
Oh, no.
And I smashed my head against the side of the shower door so hard, not on a point,
okay.
but it jarred me, but enough. And I was just like, you freaking dummy, you better not. I'm like, I'm never going to tell Caitlin I did that.
That's amazing.
I'm never going to tell Caitlin.
That is amazing.
But, a few ciders deep,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll tell Caitlin.
I think it was the point, and like, I wouldn't have gone to urgent care if I didn't have World's Toughest Mudder. Like, I would have just been like, oh, I hit my head.
Yeah.
But I was like, this lady's going to clear me, no problem.
And I've done that. Like, I've had my head, like, down by my bathroom counter and come up, and, like, the medicine cabinet doors open, and I've caught it, and it's just like, and I get, like, instantly angry because it hurts so much.
Yes.
And I'm like, ugh.
I stood up, and I was so mad. And I was like, and then it felt like I was bleeding.
But I didn't bleed or
bleeding.
concuss myself,
Yeah.
so, like, you didn't bleed at all?
No.
Ooh. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, cool.
Anyway,
Yeah.
but what were we even talking about? Oh, so maybe you're going to run World's Toughest Mudder next year.
I mean, I'll never say never because I absolutely want to run it again. I will say, after watching the obstacle preview video this year and knowing how disturbingly hot it was that day, I was like, okay, I'm kind of glad I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
But then the weather was much milder on Saturday, and I was like, fudge.
Next year.
Yeah, we'll see.
You, me, and
It's
Ann
too early
Caroline
to
Clifford,
commit.
65 miles.
We made a joke. It was myself and Patrick Guzik. And if you know Patrick, he's a great guy.
I don't.
It's one of Ann's good friends too. It was myself, Patrick Guzik, and I can't remember who our third was, but we joked because we're all like guys in our 50s,
Right.
And we've all had vasectomies, so we've joked about like we were gonna do a team, and we were gonna call ourselves the vasectomies.
That's
Or if
amazing.
there was three of us, we'd call ourselves the vasectothrees.
Oh my God, Carlo!
I don't know.
That's so good.
I also kind of don't want to do the team thing because I'd love to chase like an age group podium.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, I have to say, as somebody who ran it last year, and I would see you on course, like every time I saw you, and you'd be like, "Go, Caitlin!" It was like instant mood boost.
Good.
Like it could be like
I'm glad.
the worst lap I've ever had in my life, and I'd see you, or I'd see even Evan, and I would be like, "Oh my God!" Like there are people here who are
Evan,
prepare.
Yeah. Yeah, we love Evan.
Yeah, but how did you get into Tough Mudder?
I got into Tough Mudder because, and this was like back in 2011. There was.
Wait, you've been running Tough Mudders when I was in high school.
Yeah, I believe that. I'm old, dude.
I always forget how old you are.
I know. Thank you. I like to pretend to forget how old I am too sometimes. No, I began running Tough Mudders in 2011 because a guy at the Anytime Fitness.
The Vasectomy Club?
No. This was just a guy at my Anytime Fitness at the time in Santa Rosa, California. Like, a bunch of us kind of all worked out at the same time, and we kind of got to know each other. And we were like in boot camps and stuff together. And he was like, "You guys, did you see this? I saw this on Facebook. It's this thing called Tough Mudder, and there's like fire, and there's slides, and there's monkey bars, and they're having it in Tahoe. We should do it." And so, we all signed up in the fall of 2011, and that was it. And back then we'd do like one a year, whenever it came around to Tahoe. And then like after a couple of years, after like 2012. Someone was like, "Oh, they have them in Southern California too," and then we started doing like 2 a year, and then it just kind of grew from there.
That's awesome. And then and then some people might know you from Piss and Cox.
Actually, I was just hanging out with all the Scots and some of the UK folks down there, and one of the guys literally brought up, he's like, "Oh, you're the Carlo guy with no S, and you're the Piss from Piss and Cox." And I'm like, how does anybody remember that? It's so long ago.
Because you were like Tough Mudder famous.
It was a big deal. I mean, I'm gonna be like, but no, it was a big deal for like late 2014 to like 2019. It was like, and that was when the community was like absolutely like huge.
Yeah.
And the crowds were huge. Yeah, we had a good run. That was a really fun time with my buddy Josh. And
does he still run?
Josh doesn't run so much. He still lifts. He got married a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah, getting married's the worst.
And he kind of had a career change, so he's not training people anymore.
Okay.
So did you say getting married's the worst? Yeah. Oh gosh, that's great. But yeah, we still.
I know my audience. I know you're a divorced man.
I am a divorced man. Thank you for noticing. But no, yeah, we do. We still keep in touch because we share the same love of the same football team, like American football team. So we text a lot during the season.
What football team is that?
The 49ers.
Okay.
Because it's our local team.
That's fair.
Yeah. But so yeah, we're still in contact, not nearly as much as we used to be. But yeah, I do. It's funny sometimes when I think about like podcast stuff and podcast options, because I'm always like looking at things to do.
I have a great podcasting opportunity for you.
For Josh and I?
No.
Just for me?
You.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Tell me.
We could name our podcast. I need to work on the alliteration a little bit.
Okay.
Drunken bougie.
Drunken.
No.
Wait, who's who?
No. Do you remember last year there was a really drunk person here, and she said that her and her friend had a podcast, Drunken Bougie, and Will Hicks goes, "Yeah, which one are you?" And that's when I spat my water on her.
I do not remember that.
Oh my God.
I gotta be honest, I don't, and I hope you're not offended.
Kevin's wife. I literally
Kevin
had like
called her?
I literally was like this close to her, and he said that. I was like, all over, like her face, her shirt, everything.
Like I might remember tomorrow, but like no, at the moment I don't remember.
Like I like sprayed my water out on her.
I love that though.
It was so funny.
Okay.
It was so.
So wait,
funny.
what would our podcast be?
Well, because we both.
So you were making a joke, and I ruined it by not remembering the story.
Yeah. No.
Good job, Carlo.
Listen, we both love dogs. The podcast could be like.
Tails and.
No. Like, you know how you like raw dogging with Ritter? It could be like raw and then dog, like DOG, and we could just talk about dogs.
You know what I love the most is that like nobody who's listening right now understands the reference unless you say something before this about what the raw dog Ritter means. Which, by the way, was so... We can't have inside jokes on your podcast, though, because people will be like, what the hell are they talking about?
I know. They're all going to want to, like, slide in my DMs.
They absolutely will. But not the people you'd want in your DMs. I'll tell you that much.
No.
You're going to get a group that you didn't even realize were
send them
fans.
to you.
It won't be your Patreon folks, I can tell you that.
I'll be like, you know who's single?
By the way, don't
Carlo.
forget, patreon.com/obstacle running adventures. $5 a month really helps them. So come on, guys. Kick in.
It gets us here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets you guys here.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, was Josh just videoing us?
I think so.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh, I hope not.
Okay. So we can talk about the podcast thing like at a different time, but yeah.
Yeah, we could host a podcast.
We absolutely could.
It'd be so off the rails.
It would be the most like ADHD fest. Because you know how I stay on point, or lack thereof.
Yeah, and I don't like to make lists, so everything we want to talk about would just be no list. It would just be like...
I'll be like, I did some prep work. You'd be like, why? Why'd you do prep work?
Right.
What are we going to talk about?
Right.
I don't know.
Mike will be like, oh, I have the show notes. I'm like, oh, who reads those anyway?
Yeah, what are show notes?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, right?
Anyway, Carlo, I'll let you go. Thank you for talking.
That's it? I'm just kidding.
Do you want to keep talking?
I will. Do I want to keep talking? Okay, really quick, just so you know. I talk all the time.
So do I.
But no, like to myself. And I'm not even kidding. I like to pretend like I'm talking to my dog. No. It's just me talking to me about what I win all these arguments. It's so fun.
I should try that.
And I'm just like, yeah, take that.
You know what I like Mike the least?
Yeah.
We'll be in a car, we'll be driving probably somewhere long.
Yeah.
And I'll just be talking.
Yeah.
And
I'm
he'll pause me and say, just so you know, I'm not listening anymore.
I mean, I appreciate the honesty.
But like, we're on a 4-hour car ride and it's been 20 minutes and you're already sick of listening to me to talk?
I had a great chat with my therapist Mike, not your Mike, but my therapist Mike, different therapist Mike, recently, and I was having this like, did I spend my whole life doing the wrong thing? I like what I do, but I don't love what I do. No, whatever. Trying to like reestablish like where I want to do with my life.
Yeah.
As an old guy.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, but like let's go. He's like, bare bones. What do you like to do?
Talk.
And I'm like, Mike, I like to talk. He goes, I know, but no, you don't understand. I like to talk.
Yeah.
All the time.
All the time.
I love it.
Yep.
I love talking. I love listening too. I mean, I can listen.
You do listen really well.
But then if you tell me something, I want to talk more because I want to learn about what you're telling me about.
Yes.
I just learned a lot about the history of the UK and all kinds of things and Scotland and their various, I don't know, political systems.
Uh-huh.
Like, here's something I learned. This is not anything any of your listeners want to hear. But elections here in the UK, they vote in a party, not a person, like a party. And then the party decides who is actually in office for that party. Like,
Okay.
you don't know before that.
So you're just like hoping that they pick somebody good.
Yeah. And sometimes they don't. And then they have the power, though, to be like,
Is that why
hey,
so many people like leave?
is that why they kick out like prime ministers every couple
Yeah.
weeks? I think so.
That makes sense.
I might come across as a little ignorant, but I'm just trying to learn as we go.
Yeah. No,
Anyway.
that's fascinating.
But anyway.
So you like to talk? So what did your therapist say?
Well, he was the one that kind of recommended like a podcast option, to be honest.
Oh.
And here's the thing. He's like, here's the deal. He's like, it doesn't have to be good. He's like, because you're not doing it because
for like money.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like, just record it.
I love that.
In fact, some of my homework one time was to like, we'll be done in just a second, Mike. I'm sorry, Mike. Is this your podcast or Caitlin's podcast? I'm just trying to figure out. Mike's interrupting so rudely.
So rude.
Yes. But no, his thing was literally like, just record it.
Yeah.
That's step one.
I love
record
that.
it, and that's it. So anyway, and I've done that a lot, but it's like,
Yeah.
I do it a lot when I'm driving because I seem to talk to myself.
Yeah. Or like, I just want, even when we're like laying in bed trying to go to sleep, I'll be like, hey, Mike, you want to hear a story? And he's like,
So,
no,
he's
I'm
like,
trying to sleep.
When I was 6, he's like, stop it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
thanks, Carlo.
yeah, you bet.
My name's Grant Thompson, and I'm from the Highlands of Scotland.
Are you saying that you're Scottish?
I'm Scottish. I'm definitely Scottish, and if people don't know that now, they'll soon learn.
How was World's Toughest Motor for you this year?
Good, brilliant. I'm in second place, 105 miles. So achieved podium, which I've never done before, and improved on last year, which was the main goal was improve on 100 miles past 2 years.
Yeah.
Got it. So yeah, it's
I'm
good.
proud of a lot of the runners that were out there, but to see you your growth in this specific event has been absolutely awesome to see, and to see that you got your podium. You did lose to Das, as you as you worried about.
I mean, I did kind of predict it. It's not been defeatist. It was just being real. I've never beaten him. I've always come second to him, third a couple of times. But again, he's a machine at training. He's very consistent. I'm not. I'm very much winging it. So, yeah, I to me, it's a win. Yeah. Second place is a win to me.
Absolutely. It goes to show how just gritty and determined you are to be able to. You said your preparation wasn't exactly where you wanted it to be, this and that, and yet you came away with second place, beating Chris Mendoza and Joe Rucco and so many people. So how are you feeling about it? Has it hit you, or?
I actually did get a bit emotional when I crossed the line. First, it was just I've done it because the lap for 100 mile, I thought I'd messed it up. I was in pain. I was walking. I was like, they're going to catch me. I was like, Kris and Austin are right behind me. I've messed it up. I've lost podium. So when I crossed the line, it just felt surreal. And then I was sort of walking about hugging people, and it was actually Carlo that I saw. And he was like, hey, and I actually started sort of crying a wee bit. And yeah, it just kind of hit me because I don't know if I'm capable, but I just don't know if I expected it. Because I feel like people will probably he might be up there, but he's not going to be on the podium. So I think it was just, hitting that podium and Worlds, it was amazing. I was really sort of just loving life.
You said that preparation's always kind of tough for these kind of events. I know there's no real goal for nutrition initially. How did your nutrition end up throughout the laps?
See, I've been having a lot of discussions today where people what's your nutrition. I've always struggled to actually eat food. It's always been gels. Pretty much gels. Not even that many squashes, surprisingly.
Really?
Yeah, a handful here and there, but I was trying to eat protein fudge and sort of Rice Krispie bars or treats, as you call them. Yeah. And I would still just struggle. So for the most part, hydration, electrolytes, gels, just constantly, and then trying to force some of that food down. But I'm not like some of these guys that have got mashed potatoes and pot noodles and that, which is, it works for them, but I generally feel as soon as I eat a handful of food, I'm just this is not sitting well. So it's worked so far.
Yeah. And then I was following along with the commentary and stuff, and you took it out hotter than I think we expected, but you kept it.
Yeah.
And which was really impressive to see, because you admitted you're not very good in the heat, and it was pretty hot that first set.
I know, because a few people have said, oh, you went out pretty hard, but I didn't feel like I did go out hard. So this is probably the first year where I've actually sort of said to myself, right, I'm going to stick to certain paces. So I was constantly looking at my watch and going, right, you're going a bit too fast, or slow down. I felt comfortable in that first few laps, and so I was like, well, I'll just stick with doing this. And then when Das eventually passed me, he's like, oh, you went out a bit hot. I was like, did I? And so I felt fine. But I was definitely conscious of trying to watch my pace this year and keep it steady. But yeah, I mean, I guess it did go out hard, but it was working. Yeah, it was comfortable. I never felt like I was going too fast.
What did you think about the obstacles and everything that they had laid out in the course for you this year?
I think it was harder. It was hard to judge, because I might speak to Joshua Fiore, and he's like, I don't think it is harder, it's just more time consuming. And so it was weird. So at first I was like, yeah, I think it's easier. But then it's later out there, for example, the sandbag carry into the chain, and then the sandbag, and then you had
people 15 minutes.
Yeah, and then you had the beam, the wall, the beam. So it grates on you. It sort of grinds you down. And Mad Mile was just awful. Yeah, so I used most of my bands on that. So yeah, it was. I think it was tougher. It was especially when I seen some of the mileage some people were hitting or not hitting, which I expected to hit. So it was definitely tougher.
How did it feel? Obviously the World 700 community loves you, but to have an entire country rally around you because you are the Scottish athlete, and just the Tartan Army. So many people were rallying around you, and everyone was asking how Grant was. How did it feel to carry that in your back and then succeed the way that you did?
It was a bit. Again, that's probably why I got a bit emotional as well, because the amount of people that were like literally cheering, rooting me on. And my pit crew, there's a girl, Bridget, that was sort of taking charge of the social media side. So Mo and Colin were getting my part, and they were like, your socials are popping off, everyone's so happy. And even when I was running past, and I was like, oh, this actually feels kind of cool, so it was really nice because, you're running along and people are just cheering you on, saying, you can do this, you've got this. So yeah, it was, I probably didn't realize how many people were supporting me, because
A lot of people I talked
to. There's a lot of people coming at you going, go, God. I was like, I'm sorry, I have no idea who you are. But I was like, they were like cheering for me the whole time. So it was very heartwarming, emotional.
Absolutely. I was talking to Will Chung. He's like, "Oh, are you disappointed that UK really took the podium back this year?" I'm like, "Absolutely not." Like, I got to meet Daz. He seemed like a great guy, and Grant got his huge victory. And so it's really awesome to see it all come together. That being said, World's Toughest Mudder is coming back next year. What are your thoughts, expectations, plans?
Well, I've spoken to a few people about how I've been winging my training. Past 4 years, picked up this injury, this piriformis syndrome.
Oh, I've had that.
So I've been running in pain for 4 years. I've been training in pain for 4 years. I've not once been running in my full potential the past 4 years. So I know myself, it's my own demise. So I was like, if I get this sorted and get a coach. I've been winging it, making up my training as I go along. So I'm at this level. If I just get this few wee things sorted, I could be at an even higher level. So
even more scary.
Yeah. So if I can do that when I'm not running at full potential, just turning up, just sort of randomly winging it, I'm capable of so much more.
Yeah.
So hopefully get dialed in, get my arse together, and have a proper go at it. Like not a proper go at it, but show what I'm truly capable of.
Yeah, love it. Well, congratulations again, and I'll let you get back to drinking with your mates.
That's perfect, Mike. Thank you as always.
Jason Dupree from currently North Richland Hills, Texas.
And what was your role with World's Toughest Mudder this year?
I was the producer / rabbit of the live stream for World's Toughest Mudder.
How do you feel that it went?
It went really well overall. There's always, with any of these things, just like doing a race, there's always things to troubleshoot. So there was lots of things to troubleshoot, but it kind of it eventually falls into a rhythm, and then things are good from there. I think early on, there's a lot of things that I tried to do. I'm jumping probably ahead in the conversation here, but there's a lot of new things that I tried to do for the broadcast, and some of it was also not for the broadcast too. So for people that, we made a whole webpage for the World's Toughest Mudder information, trying to gather together all that stuff. And we called it the WTM Hub. And on that page, we also advertised our athlete tracker that we had made. All these years, people have always made a pace calculator in Excel and put that online. And so I just tried to take that to the next level this year and made a pace calculator as well as pick an athlete, put it in your follow list, and you could go look and see all their lap times individually. But if it was actually the person that you were pitting for, there's places to input what was their fueling each lap, and keep track of all that stuff. There was also a spot to see predictively where they're at on the course. That didn't quite work out. I need to fix that, but nonetheless, all these extra things was all stuff that was not quite working the way I had hoped right out the gate. So it's hard because once things go live, that's when you really start to see if it's working or not. So I worked on a bunch of that stuff from the beginning. So I was doing a little troubleshooting from the beginning. But overall, new additions to the live stream went well. The fact that we had only 3 rabbits to start, but we added hot spots to each rabbit that we didn't have in previous years.
That's what we're carrying in our pockets.
Yeah, so that helped. Is still, if you have 0 signal, if you double that, you still have 0 signal. But it helped. There were definitely more spots that we didn't get decent signal from before that we got better shots from this year. So it didn't fix the problem, but it helped the problem.
What was feedback like for like the pace calculator and this, like all the stuff that you had developed before Worlds? I think people seemed excited for it.
Yeah, I did get good feedback from it. People were happy that they had the tool, and I think I heard some people like saying, "Oh, it's doing this and it's doing that." Like, it's funny that people will reach out to the people they know. So like Carlo brought to me like, "Oh, this person reached out and said that this isn't working," and then he showed me, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm already fixing it," and so that shows that people wanted it, though. Like, the fact that anybody was bummed that it wasn't working from the get-go shows that they wanted to use it, which is great. Because if they didn't care about it, then they wouldn't have even bothered to say something was wrong with it. So, yeah, I think it was good.
And what did you think about, like, the course for World Surface Moto this year? You got to see a fair amount of it.
Yeah, I think, doing base roughly the same loop backwards was good. And there's one big portion of the course that's basically a big open field. And they, instead of doing a kind of out and back loop inside of that, they put more of the course in the woods instead of that middle field. So you just went through that field once instead of twice, basically. And more in the woods, which is great. So, yeah, I was very happy to see that. And from what a lot of the athletes said is it felt like you were going uphill less because of the direction. Because you did the majority of the hills in the first half of the course. So the back half of the course actually felt more flat and more downhill.
What do you think about the obstacles that they had chosen for this race?
Very fun. It's always great to see the mix-ups. Of course, we still be like, we're still talking about it like, oh, they're at Funky Monkey. But all the obstacles have different names. None of them, very few of them had the exact same name
Some
as...
deserved different names, some did not, I will say.
But the great thing about the different name is, like, you know that it's going to be a mix-up. Like, they did something different to it to give it a different name. So, like, On the Ropes was Funky Monkey. But, of course, we just call it Funky Monkey all the time. So it was great to see the actual, what the obstacles were. They had some good, fun differences. Like, I forget who it was. Some athlete was bummed that Funky Monkey was different because they love just the way... Oh, Josh Fiore. Yeah, he was like, I love that. That's just one of my favorite obstacles. So to see it different, not that he even raced, he rabbited for us.
A lot of people seem to like the change.
But yeah, I like, Funky Monkey is a tough one. I would hope that the ropes made it easier on people because you can, if you know the technique, you can get footholds. And they even had, so there's 4 ropes altogether, and the second one and the third one. Wait, was there 5 ropes? There was 5 ropes. So the second one and the third one were nylon, which is harder to hold on to, but they had knots in them. So you could actually put your feet on the knots. So I would think that helped people, but nonetheless, a lot of people still fell in. Dude, even Chris Mendoza said that towards the end, he was getting to the last rope and falling in. Oh, wow. Like, how crazy is that?
Fran fell.
That's true. Yeah, she made it really far in there. Yep.
What did do you know what you got for mileage just rabbiting?
Yes. So I got 36 and a half miles. The past 3 years, 22, I actually only got like 30, maybe 35 miles because the plan was not in 22 in Alabama. The plan was not for me to go out and rabbit. It was for me to be behind the camera the whole time. But we only had Carlo as a rabbit. That was our only rabbit. So once I saw that this is lacking, I jumped out and was like, all right, you guys take the buttons. I taught them on the fly with the press. And then I said, okay, I'm going to go out and rabbit. Not only do I need to go set up cameras, but I'm going to go be an extra camera too. So we did that. So it was very like lower mileage, obviously, in 22. Once we knew that, 23, 24, 25, I was a full-time rabbit and got... Yep, and got 45 miles all 3 years. On the money, 45 miles. Oh, that's funny. I mean, not like 0-0, but not 46, not 39, or 44, or 39. But so, yeah, this year, because I was troubleshooting all these other things, and the fact that Will and Francesca went out for a full lap, which took 2, 3, however, 4, 5, I don't know, however many hours it took them.
It was a while. We were there for a while, yeah.
So I was in the booth while they were doing that. So that was another just amount of time that I was not out there moving around. So yeah, 36 miles this year, as opposed to 45 previous years. I know Lee said he got 45, 40 to 45, somewhere in there. And then Josh said he got 50, which is great. It's awesome. Yep, super cool.
What is this enough to fill your cup for World Service Mudder? Like, do you miss racing it yourself?
You know, the question came up earlier. If next year was the last year and they announced it, would you race? And my thought was no. I would be very happy to provide the coverage again. And I think it's because, like, if I was sitting behind a computer, I would be very hard pressed to not want to race. But the fact that I get to get out there and run, 1,000%, I will cover the event again instead of race.
And just what are your thoughts on, like, overall, like, the support of the live stream and stuff? Do you have any idea, like, what the views were like? Did you go back and look at that? Because sometimes it can be tough to obsess over.
I just checked, I don't remember when, maybe earlier today, it was maybe this morning, and I think we had like 5,000+ views on the first stream. Of course, we break it up into 3 streams, and then the other 2 streams always have less, because it's overnight and then the next morning, and they both had like 2.7 thousand. So I don't remember exact numbers from previous years, so I'll go back and look, of course, because I'm curious. But what those races were in the first 24 hours, I think it's fairly comparable. And honestly, our lives, like OCR live streams compared to, it's easy to look at a lot of the big trail races. And trail racing has been around for so much longer than OCR. And I think, like, OCR has obviously got a lull here after 10 years, but I think that kind of tends to happen for a lot of events. I mean, CrossFit, even as big as it's been, has had a lull after some time.
There's some issues there in addition to it, but yeah.
I mean, there's always reasons. Whatever the reasons are, there is the popularity, and then the bubble kind of bursts a little bit, and then it drops off. And if it sustains after that is the real proof, if it's a good thing. And I feel like OCR will last. I don't see it dying completely. Maybe it'll never get back to that level of popularity. Maybe it will. But I don't see it dying out completely. Trail running has been around for ages and ages at this point. At least, 50+ years. And I think that the views that they get with very similar, they're putting money into their, I see the sponsorships that they're getting, which we don't have. So they're still putting some money into their productions, but they still run into the same problems that we do. So I think for what we're doing, the views are pretty good. And for the event itself and for the quality that we're producing, it's not like we're getting shown on CBS. So we don't know. Is this interesting? Yeah? All right, cool. So yeah, I think it is really, it's good for what we have, but we're hoping, we always want to see more. But only because we want to see more people interested in it. Yeah. So, yeah.
How much money do you think the stream has made? Millions of dollars, right?
There was some, I can't tell if he was just joking or not. But there was some, maybe. There was some super chats that came in.
Shout out to Piper.
Yeah, Piper probably had the majority of the super chats. But I didn't see the majority of the, if they came through, I don't know what it is. But there was some. Now, when in Florida, they were pushing it pretty hard because they came up with an idea of like, oh, whoever gets the most donated towards them will go through EST.
Yeah.
And so that raised a pretty good amount. So I don't know if it was comparable to that or not, but yeah, it gets a little bit.
And then where can people find out more about, like, behind the scenes about the live stream, this and that, and,
So I do try to do OCR Talk is the podcast that is what I started, which I've mentioned on your podcast multiple times. Anna Landry and myself started a podcast back in 2018, and we did it until I started doing the live stream. And it was like, okay, I need to focus on the live stream more, so let's stop doing the podcast. And I came back and said, I can't help myself. I want to talk about this more. So I basically converted the podcast into be a OCR Tech Talk to talk about the behind the scenes of the podcast itself, of the live stream stuff. So yes, I will hope to put out an episode about World's Toughest Mudder. Last year, my episode about World's Toughest Mudder was me walking around with my phone, a little drunk, talking to everybody. I didn't do this year. Not that the night is still young, so there's still time. So maybe it'll still happen. But nonetheless, that's where you go. OCR Talk on Facebook and Instagram and all your podcast players.
And be sure to check out the live stream on YouTube. I'll probably be watching it. I don't know if I'll be watching all, 25 hours of it or whatever. But
well, I'll say this: the live stream, the YouTube shows, I will go back and try to watch as much as I can and put into the description timestamps of really interesting things. So if you go back and watch it later, you might actually see a timestamp that you never saw before about something that you should check out. So look into the description for those timestamps.
Will there be one for Caitlin mentioning Raw Dog?
If I come across it, I will 1,000% do it. Yeah.
Well, Jason, thank you so much for all the time and effort that you put into this. I hope people appreciate it because I know how much goes into it. And we'll be seeing you.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it.
Gary Judd, I'm from Cross Hills in the Yorkshire Dales, which is half over to Keighley and Skipton, for those who don't know where it is.
Appreciate that. And how was World's Toughest Mudder for you this year?
It was tough but epic.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely brilliant, but the toughest one I've done so far. Okay. Tougher than last year's by some distance.
Very difficult, but how many miles did you get then?
70. So one more lap completed than last year's 65. So despite being tougher, I actually did better.
Congratulations. What do you think went into that? Why do you think you did so much better this year?
Well, I think it's a lot of preparation. I think having better footwear helped. I mean, you've heard already that I'm a barefoot runner by nature. So Tough Mud obviously don't let me do that. But I've started using wet shoes now, which are for water sports. So they have the added advantage. They hug your feet, so you can't lose them in obstacles. And because they have non-slip soles, which are just phenomenal for holding onto things like ropes and climbing up things like Everest, and your toes still bend inside them, so you can grip with your toes onto boards and things. So things like hero walls will become much easier to climb.
Yeah. Is it the shoes that have like the separate toes?
No. These look like they just look like a slipper, or they almost look like slippers actually, but they're not.
Yeah.
They're designed specifically for water sports, so they're completely waterproof as well. So they don't come up. They're designed not to come off your feet when you're like surfing or anything like that. And they're designed so you can't slip on a boat. Gotcha. So you can run up Everest nearly without anybody giving you a hand. So that helped, and I think a lot of better preparation as well, and simply the fact that I did it last year, because it helps so much if you go into it with so much more confidence in your own ability. Because last year I really didn't know what was going to happen, because it was like double the time of my longest OCR I'd done.
What did you think about the obstacles that they had on course this year?
Oh, I thought they were great. I mean, the coldness of the wind at night did spoil one or two of the water ones for me. I think I would have enjoyed them more. Yeah. I mean, I did enjoy that. It was really welcoming that one. It was the first water one they opened when it was really, really hot on the Saturday. But the thing is, when it went wrong, and so they turned three of the pipes off. So one set of three, because it was in 3 sets of 3. They turned one off. And of course, the thing was that meant that the pump was pumping 6 instead of 9. The force of the water went up by 50%, and it was hitting you. It was like being under the world's biggest thunderstorm. It was just immense.
What was your plan with the bands?
Oh, so I didn't hear that with the cheering there.
What was your plan with your strategy with the bands, using your bands?
With the bands. Initially, my strategy was going to be the same as last year, so saving them up towards the end. But obviously, I think that went to pot completely straight away, because obviously we had that very long carry with the sandbags and the chains. So the second time I got around to that, I used my skip wristband, but then they changed that and took the sandbags out. So I started saving up, but then when that bitterly cold wind hit at the night, at 2 o'clock in the morning, I thought, no, I can't. I've got to use these on Arctic Enema and Augustus Gloop. So I thought I have to use these on the two toy ducks on your back.
He's smooth. Smooth criminal. I'm about to get stickered. Sorry, but yeah, when it's cold.
So I thought, because my first choice was always did not finish. I mean, that was my aim.
Yeah.
So I had to just put my inner child in her place and say, look, I'm going to be the adult. I've got to be the adult here. I've got to say, look, we're not going to get the 75. Just concentrate on the 70 and don't take silly risks. Don't get hypothermic. Don't get did not finish. And use the skip wristbands to keep yourself healthy on the course, rather than just to save a few minutes and try and really push hard for a 75.
Yeah. And so, with World Toughest Mudder coming back to Beaver Castle next year, are you planning to come back?
Oh, definitely, because I've got to try. I'm going to try and get that 75. I mean, my lap times are so consistent. I was told that my final 5 laps were all within a minute of each other. It was for not every single one of my 5 final laps it was just seconds separating, and that's how consistent I was, apparently. Yeah. So I think I can do that. I think I can take those 4 minutes off a lap and get that 75 bib and hopefully a podium finish as well.
Beautiful silver bib. That'd be an amazing goal for sure.
It would be, yeah. It would be. I mean, I hit my goal this year, and that was to better last year. So last year, I got 86th place last year. This year, I 51st.
Wow.
Last year I was 8th in my age group. This year I was 5th. So I was only 2 spots off a podium finish.
You're right
and of course,
there.
last year 13 laps. This year 14. And what's more, I feel fitter now than I did this time last year. Last year when I went up to that toilet in here upstairs, those stairs were killing my legs last year. Right. And yet today it's just like a normal day. Stairs, my legs are fine. It doesn't feel like I've just run 70 miles.
That's brilliant. And then, where could people follow you on social media and For the Love of Mud?
So I'm on social media as Gary Judd. At the moment, my profile picture has got me at nuclear races holding a #LoveMud sign, but that may change to a World's Toughest Mudder one. And of course, you can also join my OCR chat room, which is called For the Love of Mud. So that's all separate words, For the Love of Mud, and capitals at the beginning of each letter, and it's on Facebook. So just go on chat rooms and just type in For the Love of Mud and click join group.
Perfect. Thanks for talking to me.
Thank you very much.
I am Fran Chiorando and I'm from Manchester.
And how was World's Toughest Mudder for you this year?
Gosh, you're going straight in with the big questions. That is one whole question. How was it? Which part?
Let's start with the beginning of it. Early morning, setup. I guess it wasn't really early morning.
So Saturday.
Yes, Saturday.
It always starts too quickly.
Right.
It always starts too quickly. We're there. We have a million ideas of what we want to do. And then all of a sudden it's 25 past 11 and we have to sit down and start recording. Mm-hmm. And obviously that definitely happened this year.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
And then what goes into the preparation for, because some might say you're just sitting there and you're talking to the mic, but there's a lot of prep that goes behind it. The information that's gathered and everything.
So, if I may be totally honest, Jason does most of the work.
Fair.
Jason is an absolute legend. And also Will does a lot of the work. Will has this mega cheat sheet that we use. It's like a laminated sheet. To be fair, I get that printed. I'll take that.
All right.
And it's got details from every year. And really, this year he added in the weather for every year. And we use that a lot. Jason does a lot of the work in terms of pulling stuff together. We have a few calls throughout the year to talk about what we'd like, and I can't credit Jason enough because I'm just like, hey Jason, I want this, and he makes it happen. Yeah. Something new we brought in this year was we have every year we've been like, it would have been super cool if we had this. The year that Ryan Atkins ran and he twisted his ankle, everyone kept asking what happened to Ryan.
Right.
So we came up with the idea of having a ticker tape to do news updates, because if we put that at the bottom, people wouldn't need to ask and we wouldn't need to say the same thing over and over again.
Right.
So we came up with that, and then people ask about their athletes and we'd have to say, oh, Steve Jones has run 5 laps, blah, 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 blah. So we came up with having a tab at the bottom that has the athlete's info, where they're from, how many laps. And then this year what we came up with was trying to get athlete pictures in there.
It's such a good idea, yeah.
So on Friday, Jack and Carlo spent all day in the tent. I'm going to sneeze.
That was a very cute sneeze. I was prepared for one of Caitlin's sneezes. I would have had to blow at the mic.
Yeah. So Jack and Carlo, on Jack's birthday, 30th nonetheless, spent all day Friday in the booth taking pictures of people. Not everyone came. We put it out as much as we could.
Well over 100.
Yeah, a lot came, but not everyone. So they all got those delivered to them on Friday night. They could take them from the website and share them online. And then the backgrounds were cut out so that next to the athlete info, there was a picture of them. So you could see who they were as well. So that was, I think, probably like one of the big developments this year. And it's really hard to, like, there is a lot of preparation for the event, but I'm going to say, like, I prepare for other events more because if I'm doing something like a sprint or a super coverage or even the Morzine Ultra, like, it's Jason's stealing my drink. Yeah.
Approaching, sipping very delicately.
Oh my
Spit
God.
out half of it. Is it good?
Yeah, it's a porn star.
Oh,
it's a porn star.
Ah, wicked pisser.
Wicked pisser. So if it's usually if it's a Spartan race, I'll do more prep because there's not as much time.
Right.
And stuff happens really, really quickly. And one of the problems is often like the picture can be really bad and there's not much data. So it can be really hard to know what's going on. And I saw this weekend, actually, we see what's on our screen and then we could also see what was going on. And I was like, oh my God, the picture that's going out on YouTube is so much clearer than what we get. But because it's a 24-hour race, you've got a lot longer to kind of work out what's going on and to spend time looking through the data.
Yep.
So it can be like, oh, this person, yeah, I know this about them. So there doesn't need to be as much prep going into it. This year we did like an athlete form that we sent out to all athletes so they could send in like interesting stories about themselves and goals.
I don't think I knew about that. Okay.
Yeah, not a ton of people filled it out. Again, it's really hard to get people to take part. But because it's such a long race, if we can talk about other people, not just those running at the front, it's good, but it's really hard to if they are not the
They gotta do their part.
They got to do their part.
And that's what makes World Surface Motor so special too. Is that like, yes, it's about the elites, but it's also the people that's just going for the 50 mile, quote unquote. Just going for 50 or going for 24
It's about
hours.
everyone,
It's
which
about
is why we wanted to have the pictures for everyone, and which is why the form went out to everyone. Because unless there's somebody who's very predominant in racing, or you know them personally, it's very hard to know stuff about them.
Right.
And even if like you look at their Instagram, I'm not going to look at however many hundreds of people's, and it's hard to get information about them. So I'd say like there's a lot of prep, but not last minute prep, and I don't do most of it.
Something else that was done for the first time this time was that you did I was going to say middle of the night, but 8 p.m. Media lab with a fair, awesome group of people.
We did. It was super. We've talked about it every year. The first year I came, Jason was like, bring your wetsuit because you're probably going to be like stood in the water in the middle of the night for a while. So I did. I had hand luggage only, went to the States, took all my race kit. We did the hot lap, but we didn't do any race. And every year we're like, we should do a lap. And this year I was like, listen, Will, let's just do a lap. Let's pick a time, not just say when we feel like it. Let's put a time in the schedule. So we chose 8 o'clock because everything started to slow down a bit by that time. It's not super, super late, so we're not knackered. It's not massively dark. It just felt like a good time.
In between streams.
Yeah. It felt like a good time. So we did that, and we went out with me, Will, you, Lee, who was our rabbit who joined us this year, Giles Chaser, and Joe Rucco. And it was really fun. And we picked up a few people on the way and lost them as well. And it was really nice. It was a really, really fun course.
Yeah. It's a good taste of like what you've been commenting on, and then for the rest of the remainder of the stream, you have more of a perspective because you took on these obstacles and you crushed that carry and you came so close to nailing the funky monkey.
I did. You know what? Kudos to me.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was really pleased with that. I've not done obstacles for ages. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a go. I was like, oh, going at the monkey bars, fine. Got to the wheel. I was like, this is surprising. Ropes. And then I fell in and I was just knackered. But yeah, no, I was really pleased. Yeah. The other obstacles, obviously, the ones that I needed help with. But that's cool because that's what happens in Tough Mudder. And yeah, the carry was great. Giles gave us a special treat as special treat for his dear friends. That even though they'd taken the pancake out, he let us carry it as well. So we got to do the chain. He is a kind man. He's a giving man. He's fair and he is just. And so we did the chain and the pancake. So it was fun.
And then thoughts on World Surface Motor coming back to Beaver Castle, your neck of the woods, for the third year in a row now?
So I partly miss traveling to the States for it. I really like heading to the States. I've been every year for the last few years, so I really miss the opportunity to go. It is easier because it's less time.
Right.
So that's just me personally being selfish. I think the only thing I don't like about Beaver Castle is the cell coverage.
Yeah, that's a factor. Yeah.
But the team here are excellent. I work at Spartan with the guys, and I know and I'm very fond of all of them and know how much work they put into their jobs and how much they care about what they do. And so I have no doubt that they're always going to make it the very best event that they can, and they're always going to be talking about it and try and create something really, really epic. It's always weird with events returning to locations because the second year is usually the better one.
Mm-hmm.
And then if it's there too long, people are like, oh, I'm bored now. But it does get better if you stay there, I guess.
Yeah.
And we know what we're coming up against. This year our coverage is better because we knew what the dread spots were.
Yeah.
We still went out and tested, and Jason made the call on what was okay and what wasn't. But it meant that we were wasting less time and people were wasting less mileage.
Yeah.
It was a lot more efficient. Yeah, I don't have strong thoughts either way. I think the team is great. So if it was in another venue, I'm happy with it being in the UK.
What else do you have planned for the rest of the year? Whether it be races or commentating, what's the rest of the year looking like in regards to a CR now, or a hybrid too.
So next weekend is Morzine. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to Morzine, but I am doing the coverage.
Boo!
I love Morzine, and you're there this year with Caitlin. So that's a real shame. So I'll be doing the coverage for that. And then at the end of July, we've got Deca Manchester, which is our first Deca in Manchester. That's at Manchester Central. It's going to be huge.
Yeah.
We've got the Ultra there as well. So it's the first Ultra in the UK.
People have been talking about that. Yeah.
Then summer holidays. Then in September, we've got Deca East Midlands. We were there last year. We're there again. And that's a good example of a repeat location. Like, people know what to expect. And so it's kind of easier. Like, the sales are easier, if that makes sense. They're like, yep, no, that was good. It looked good. I want to be there. Then October will be hopefully Hvar.
Oh, yeah, Croatia.
Maybe coverage for Trifecta World Champs, not entirely sure. And then we've got Deca London West, which is a trifecta weekend. So strong, fit and mile all in one weekend, and an ultra and the rock. So that's going to be a really big weekend. It's 3 days. And then there's the Deca World Champs and the Spartan Super World Champs. So that takes us to the end of the year.
Busy year?
Yeah. And then, just life. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Fran, thank you. I haven't seen the coverage, but from what I have seen, looking over your shoulder and hearing with the earpiece, sounds like you did a great job. And thanks for coming out and spending time with us and highlighting the awesome World Service Motor community.
They are awesome. I really enjoy it, and I really enjoy the people. And I love coming to events like the Bar Crawl, because then I get to know more people. And then when I do the coverage, I'm like, oh, I know them. Yeah. And it's really nice, because it's not just a list of names. Then it's like, oh, no, I know this person, and I know how they feel about this and what they're aiming for. And it just makes it all so much nicer.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Dave Webster from Nunthorpe, Middlesbrough.
And how was World's Toughest Mudder for you this year?
Really hard. It was a lot harder than last year. The heat was insane, and the course was a lot harder as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What's your history with World's Toughest Mudder?
I've done 9 now. I think the hardest one was 2018, like Cold Atlanta.
I was there for that. That was my first one, Atlanta.
Man, that was insane. That was absolutely. I've never been so cold in my life, but it's a good year. It's a good eye opener for World's Toughest. What it's all about.
What did you think about the obstacles that they had this year?
They were good. It's a good choice of obstacles. The change and the bag carry was horrific.
It was.
But oh god, I think that's what did me in for it. Like, I was on for the 75 and then got the change and the sandbag. It just did me in. It really did.
What did you think about Mega Mile too?
Oh, Mega Mile, that was horrible. You think you're through it, and you look over the top.
There's always more.
And there's more. It just keeps going and going and going, and it just never ends. But you get through it.
What was your strategy with using your bands that you acquired?
For me, it was for the colds, like I had to get in them because I'm not a big fan of the colds. I'd rather like do the long loss or the hard obstacles rather than the colds. So I used it for that, really, and that was basically it, really. Yeah.
And then this is the second year here at Beaver Castle. What were your thoughts with it finally leaving the States and coming to the UK?
It was different because, like in every US, it's always been in different states, and so every course has been different. Texas, Alabama, Florida, everywhere. Everywhere's been different. But here, you've kind of got the same, because they reversed the course. It's been like totally different, so it's like messed everyone's courses up. But it's been good. I've enjoyed it.
How did you first get into Tough Mudder?
My sister got my sister got diagnosed with cancer. And we thought we'd do something stupid, and that stupid thing was Tough Mudder in 2014. And from that, I've been hooked. And that's basically it, really. But yeah.
So you're Kai's uncle. Was this Kai's mother, or?
Yeah, it's Kai's mother.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah, the little dog boy. But yeah, he's done well. He's done 11 now, 11 Tough Mudders, and he's doing amazing. He's hooked as well. He loves the community, and it's just how it is. It's absolutely great.
He's got his eyes set on World's Toughest Mudder next year. Think in part to keep the memory of your sister alive, right?
Oh, definitely, yeah, man. I'd love him to do World's Toughest. I think this going to be the last chance to do World's Toughest in the UK for him. But if he does it, I'll be there every step of the way for him and support him, because that's what we do.
Where do you think Worlds will be in 2028?
Oh, God. I'm thinking, hopefully back in the US.
Really?
I reckon. You've had 3 years in the UK. I think it's about time it goes back to the US and see what happens out there.
I think I'd be surprised if it goes back to the US, because it's not doing so hot. Tough Mudder as a whole in the US. A lot of things aren't going too well in the US right now. So a lot of people aren't traveling to the US. So it'd be interesting to see, but I don't have any knowledge on it yet. But it'd be interesting to see, right?
Yeah, I've heard about all that. Like the US numbers are dropping. So, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see. So to see what happens in the future.
What advice would you give to someone taking on World's Toughest Mudder for the first time, like Kai?
I don't know. It's a hard one. It really is. Just go out there, see what you can do, and keep moving. That's all you can do. It's a totally different beast than a normal Tough Mudder. It's World's Toughest Mudder for a reason.
Now you said you first started World's Toughest Mudder in honor of your sister. But along the way, I'm sure you've gained a new family too, right? Like, what has the community meant to you?
Oh yeah, I first did this as me and my sister, and like the people I've met, the friends I've bought, like it's been absolutely incredible. I actually can't explain like what the people I've met mean to me, like the experience I've had out on course. All that, just that they're going to be friends for a lifetime. Yeah. And yeah, it's just absolutely amazing people. It's what Tough Mudder is. Yeah. It's not just I'm not being cliche or anything. It's not just a race or anything like that. It's the people you meet on them courses are friends for a lifetime. I met like 2 or 3 guys on that course yesterday. And they're going to be friends for a lifetime. Yeah. And that's about 20 minutes of my life. But it's the experience you have with them. And I don't know. It's incredible. Yeah, it's special. It's the only, you can only get this through Tough Mudder. And that's it. Well, from my experience anyway. Yeah. You can only get these relationships through these courses and the things you go through together. It's insane.
Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to me, and I'm sure this interview will touch other people as well. So thank you.
Yeah, man. Cheers.
Cheers. Good to meet you.
Welcome back.
Thank you to everyone who took the time to talk to us both on and off the mic at World's Toughest Mudder. Also for listening to these episodes, because the downloads are around half of what I was hoping, which is a little disappointing. So please share these episodes with people who either missed out on Worlds or want to relive it. for related episodes. This is the last time for a while we're going to have this long of a list.
Episode 438.
World's Toughest Mudder, First Timer Questions with Josh Fiore.
Episode 441.
World's Toughest Mudder and UK Prep with Will Chung and Fran Chiorando.
Episode 442.
Caitlin's Pre-World's Toughest Mudder Thoughts.
Episode 443.
World's Toughest Mudder 2025, Part 1, Course Walkthrough with the OCR Report.
Episode 444.
World's Toughest Mudder 2025, Part 2, Event Day Audio, Interviews, and Caitlin's Pit Audio.
Episode 445.
World's Toughest Mudder 2025, Part 3, British Brunch and Interviews and Audio.
Episode 446.
Most related to this was the Bar Crawl episode from 2025.
Episode 449.
Was World's Toughest Mudder 2025, Part 5, when we had Giles Jader on the show to talk about his thoughts on the event. And then for this year's stuff,
493.
Mike's first High Rocks experience and Caitlin's pre-World's Toughest Mudder thoughts.
494.
Grant Thompson on Scotland, UK OCR Endurance Series, World's Toughest Mudder, and more.
495.
World's Toughest Mudder 2026, Part 1, Pit Setup Interviews and Course Briefing Audio.
496.
World's Toughest Mudder 2026, Part 2, Event Weekend Interviews and Audio with Elites, Pit Crew, and Volunteers.
And 497.
World's Toughest Mudder 2026, Part 3, Brunch Interviews and Audio. Whew. That's a mouthful. Yeah.
Subscribe and follow wherever you get your podcasts. We're Obstacle Running Adventures on all the podcast players.
Yeah. Leave a review wherever you listen. Apple Podcasts will be able to find it. Spotify, you can leave comments. We'll find it. Leave comments on the website. Apparently, we'll find them there, too. It's not all just weird bots, I guess, all the time.
Not all the time. Most of the time.
Most of the time.
Support us on Patreon. Join on the website and not on the app, since Apple will charge you more. It's as many as $10 or as little as $2.
Yeah, I saw how extra expensive the flight was back home, and I did the math of how long it's going to take for that to be paid off by patron money. It's going to be a while, so appreciate all the support.
Coming up next,
Part 1 of 2 for Spartan Ultra World Championships and more zine coverage. Then following that is what?
I have no idea.
Our 500th episode.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so we've done nothing to plan for that yet. We should probably get on that, but we plan to do that, and then following that will be Part 2 of Spartan Ultra World Championships and more zine. So, plenty of stuff coming out.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I got a joke or a quote?
I do. My joke is, why don't mosquitoes make good comedians?
Because they suck?
Yeah, how'd you know?
Because mosquitoes are really known for a few things, and that's one of them.
Oh. I'll give you another one. What does James Bond do before he goes to sleep?
Oh, what does he do? License to what?
He goes undercover.
Nice.
My quote is from Jean Chardonnay. Everything I have ever lost came back to me with time in a different form. The only thing was I didn't desire them anymore.
Nice. Well, that just about wraps it up. My name's Michael Stefano.
And my name's Caitlin Ritter.
And we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening.
If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe on your favorite podcast platforms
so you don't miss our future episodes.
We would greatly appreciate it if you write a review,
reach out with feedback on social media,
and most importantly, share the show
with a friend or family member.
Our intro song was Streaker by Straight Up,
and our outro music is Iron Paul by The Best.
A pig's got hair. Why pigs have more hair than I do? When's the last time you milked a pig?
The last time I milked a pig? It's been a while, not a practice. I guess I can work on that.
I don't even know when humans came out of the water.
So what you're saying is we came from pigs? Because I've never heard that.
No, I wasn't sure. We came from apes, not monkeys, apes.
Not monkeys.
We came from apes.
The bonobos?
So,
Oh,
I don't want to embarrass you.
alive today are Homo sapiens.
I'm sorry, what?
Homo sapiens.
Maybe you.
No, all humans today. The word homo actually means same.
Yeah.
So if you have two
There's
words,
a guy at my school like that.
If you have two words that sound the same, it's called a homophone.
Right.
Same sound.
I'm not. No. I like it.
Sound.
I have no problem with them. What are you talking about?
Long.
Like 2 years.
Too long.
Too long.
I'm just going to turn my back to you.
That's great.
Do you know how long it's been since I had my last alcoholic beverage?
Right now.
Well, no, it's been a minute and a half since I had a sip.
Pitiful.
I will correct that now.
Shameful.
The first night I had alcohol, I was 6 years old, and the one memory I have of that night is thrown up in a plant pot.
In a plant pot.
Yeah.
It's funny hearing your accent and then your accent.
So my second.
How's the drink? I got you good?
Yeah. It's good, man.
Always. You did well.
I was it was good. I was watching a few bits of the live stream back as well.
Okay.
I was like, there was camera and that, and I was like,
All right.
Can I swear?
Yes, you fucking can. All right, so we'll just get started with your name and where you're from.
what do I do?
Just name and where you're from.
Then what?
And then we'll say, like, hey, how was World Service Mother? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I edit. You don't have to worry about it. I'm not going to. Yeah, it'll be good.